Morning, y'all. It's Tuesday morning. California's on fire. And N.Pierce, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, everything's on fire. And we're not on fire. But the smoke. I wanted you to see this. The sun's getting ready to come up. And normally we watch it over Mount Tipton. And I can see part of Mount Tipton. So, okay, I'm showing you through the screen door here because Buddy is really anxious to go out. And it's not quite Buddy. It's not. I can't see. It's just, I know it looks bright on the camera, but it's still pretty dim out there. But look at that. Hey, so we're back. And still dealing with bees in the duck pen, trying to feed the ducks. And no, don't want to kill the honeybees. I might need them. Actually, that was part of my problem with my garden, is that by the time my squash bloomed, the bees were gone. It was too hot, and there was nothing else to attract them here at the time. So now I see the ducks are a big attraction. So I'm thinking I can get my, I'll be getting my squash plants fertilized next time I plant them. So, yeah, this is, even though the sun is blocked, it's still very hot, a little bit of humidity. So working out here, I can't stand it. I get all sweaty in my eyes and stuff. And that's before the sun comes up. I've been praying about what to share with y'all. And there's so many things, so many updates. Bob's working on the greenhouse. We got the new little duck pen, but we're waiting on supplies to finish that up. Do y'all want to hear about homestead updates? I wanted to talk to you about homeschool, because do y'all know that? Do y'all know that I homeschool my girls? There's a little of a testimony. Look, the wind's picking up. They said it would. I gotta get to work. I'll talk to y'all about this later. Wow. Oh my goodness, the wind. And so there was no recording. And it was so weird because I went over and I was going to do the ducks, and about the time I did, well, I shut the camera down, Bob opened his door, and it was just like, it's ferocious. And I'm going to walk out here. But you won't be able to hear me, would be my guess, because of the wind. But I want you to see where Mount Tipton is and where the sunrise is attempting to come up, because I did that earlier. So now you'll get to see it. It's probably been an hour or so, maybe more. But I don't know where the microphone is. I don't know if you can hear me. That's where the mountain's supposed to be. Now it's coming at me. It's like I live in a vortex. Let's see, here we go. So you can see the sunrise. So that means, I don't know, it's like 6:30 or something. So, if I take you in the house, I think I was asking you, what do y'all want to hear about? You know, I've got what's going on in the world today, and then there's, let's do other stuff. Let's take a tour of Betty's tiny shed. Or watch Bob build a greenhouse. Or we got a road runner, y'all, living on the property. I'm so excited. And it comes here to get its water. So I've seen it running around. It's a snake eater. So yeah, that's what he's looking for. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Did y'all see this? We are, look, it says we got about a quarter-mile visibility is all. We ain't on fire. California is. I'm sorry, y'all. It looks like all the national forest and stuff. It doesn't look like people this time. It's just the land. But you know, I remember my daddy burning the garden in the fall. Nothing more purifying than a big old fire. But look at it. You can't even see our mountains hardly. And you know what I realized? The people that are living back there. And those people breathe up there. By going in the house. Wowza. I've got the windows open, and so I'm still blowing. But injury number one that I got to deal with. Hey, buddy. There you go. There's my Budmeister. He's a little freaked out about the wind and stuff, too. Cat food can. I know better than to stick my finger in there and try to stir up what's on the bottom. But sometimes you still got to learn a hard lesson. So, so the question is, you know, we're all quarantined of sorts. Our life is weird. And we're looking for, are we looking for a new normal? Actually, it's not a new normal for me. This is what I normally do. Stay home and do what I need to do. Do y'all know that I homeschooled my children, my daughters, and I actually, I referred to it as home educating my daughters because I did not want to create a public school in my house. Okay, so it's something I want to talk to y'all about the whole homeschool thing. Except for, like I say, I didn't homeschool. I was considered an unschooler. Imagine. I didn't do what everybody else was doing. My homeschool experience was there was a girl moved in at the end of my road. And we were talking about children, because that's what you do when you all got children. And she said she homeschooled. I was like, you do what? I said, isn't that against the law? Keep your babies at home. Nope. It was what they wanted you to do, was notify the Division of Non-Public Education with the state of North Carolina that you were going to open a homeschool. And then once you were notified that all of the paperwork was done, then you could take your child out of regular school. So me being me, it's like, you know what? I had enough of this. My friend convinced me. When she said, I was like, I don't know if I can homeschool. I don't know if I know enough. This is the county I went to school in. I didn't learn that much. I learned how to survive. I learned how to take a test. Because that's what it all, if you can pass the test. And I did. It was, and that's a whole nother story I don't want to hear about as a teenager and me trying to get through school. And I knew I needed a diploma, and I kept saying, if I can just get the diploma, because the real education will be when I leave this place. And that was so true. And has been ever since. So anyway, during that time, and I think it was about 1997, when a new way of homeschooling had come up. I think it was called Classical Conversations. And, you know, homeschooling was new. People were building up, making their own curriculums, which is what I did. And because my friend told me if you can potty train your child, you can homeschool them. I was like, really? I think I can do this. So anyway, we made it. I'll give you the short version. I started that in 1993, and Sarah graduated somewhere along there. Sarah, what year did you graduate? From homeschool, with a little ceremony, and then they started coming with the big homeschool group would have a big ceremony, and Emily and Molly both graduated with a big ceremony, and they have diplomas, the whole bit. So in 1997, when this new curriculum came out, that was designed by a woman in the group, the homeschool mama group, and that's not the way. It's just not. It's not what my goal was with homeschool. And what I ended up doing was I wrote a piece. I think I wrote it as an email. And there was a homeschool website, and that woman picked it up and put it on her website. And this writing that I did that they named, I never named it that, but they named it Corinthians for homeschoolers or something. And I just called it, What Have I Taught? And so I was going to read that to y'all so you would know. This is how I homeschooled. And you know what? Oh, how many years has that been? 13? No, couldn't been that long. 1993 and 2020. 23 years? Wow. And now Molly is home educating her children. And she's kind of unschooling too. She does what I did. I would use a little bit of curriculum that they had out there, but I can tell you what I would never do is sign up for this craziness they got going on now, where the public school and your kid sits in front of a computer for hours. No. Hey, so don't with a finger, but also wanted to share with you this injury. A crocheting injury. And I wound up these two fingers swollen and in pain. Uh-oh. Wonder what that was, buddy. It's okay. I think it was a rake. Thank you to my friends who sent me this. These are copper threads and stuff. So, went through a lot of pain before I realized Bob's the one that suggested it. He's like, maybe it's a carpal tunnel. So I put this on. He said, didn't you have those braces? So between that and treating the arthritis, I couldn't make a fist. So, can't write, can't type, can't crochet. I've been on injury stuff, but I still have to do stuff. Let's get back to homeschool. Here's what I believe about homeschool. This is an introduction from the woman who did the webpage. Her name's Barb. And she says, the following is a very good focus adjuster for those who have been homeschooling for some time. And it is a focus fixer for those just starting out. So to encourage those who are going to start out with homeschooling your children, there's nobody better. There's nobody. No. This is your child, and you know them better. And you know what to teach them. And if you don't, you can do what I always did. I wake up in the morning, and I'd say, Abba, I don't even know what I'm doing. What do you want me to teach them? And these beautiful lessons would just come. So, here you go. Here's one of the lessons. If my children can quote Shakespeare with feeling and understanding, but think only of themselves, then what have I taught? If they can spell scientific words and write 16-page reports, but have no compassion for others, then what have I taught? If they can work algebraic equations, but do not think of how their words or actions may affect someone else, then what have I taught? If my high schooler gets into Harvard, but doesn't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, then what have I taught? If my children are in the 99th percentile rankings on all their standardized tests, but they resent being with their family, then what have I taught? If my 9-year-old reads Tolstoy and my 7-year-old knows all the times tables, but they cannot play together without hurt feelings and tears, then what have I taught? There has to be a way of building their character and giving them the instructions that they need to do well in the eyes of the world. Yes, I know, knowing Shakespeare and algebra are important, but it is priorities that concern me. I see many children who are well educated, but I see few who have manners, few who are polite to their elders, few who would put another's needs, much less their wants, in front of their own. To build the life of Christ into a child is the greatest goal, not spelling, arithmetic, or geography. Not even true history or creation science can replace the deep need for a generation of children to be brought up first in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. If people were half as concerned if Johnny or Jane had compassion on their brother as they are with getting into Harvard, this world would be an entirely different place to visit. Obviously, not many people took my advice. The same age group that is fighting in the streets, protesting, rioting, tearing things down, breaking things. That's the generation of children I was raising and trying to teach, and trying to live my life in front of. I'm losing something out there in the desert. I'll be right back. So that's my thoughts on homeschooling. What you want to know about? You want to see Bob building the greenhouse? You want to have a tour of the tiny shed and all the rooms? You want to know how I store my bulk supplies and food in plain sight? So there's one example. It's grits in a bag. GRITS stands for Girls Raised in the South. If you're a Southern girl, check in. Because you can take the girl out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the girl. That's been proven. Y'all let me know. I love y'all. Oh, I forgot. You want to know how the garden's doing? I got something out here. So you can see it. See that? I don't know what that is. I planted something in there, and it looks kind of citrusy. But I don't know. I planted it in my mint garden. It's also my worm garden. I put worms in there. So anyway, I was going to take these seeds out of a mango. Okay, here's the big thing. I'll take this knife. I think the seeds are actually inside of here. I thought there were seeds in there. Maybe I should use a hammer. I thought it was seeds. I don't think it doesn't look like it. It might not be seeds. I don't know. What do mango seeds look like? Oh my goodness. I guess that's what it looks like. Check it out. Okay, it's a big giant seed. Okay, now what's the next step? Betty sticks it in dirt and sees what happens next. There you go. Betty does it. Okay, so this is the pot that I keep sticking things in the plant. I'm going to figure this is that's the end of it. I guess that would be the root, and then the plant would come up. Okay, so let's do this over here. And this is me planting a seed. This is how Betty's garden grows.